eating bat. That's what caused the corona. A bat.
Oh.
Just stick to regular chicken. Shit. Just stick to regular chicken. Hello.
What's up?
Okay.
You gotta be
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we are talking about current events and political things that are going on right now in our, in our universe. So first topic I want to talk about is Ahmaud, how do you pronounce his name?
Ahmaud Aubery.
Ahmaud Aubery.
That's the rest in peace of that guy. That's the guy who got murdered. What state was it? While taking vacation.
It was in Georgia. He was jogging while black and pretty much got murdered by two white people who pretty much just was like, they supposedly was accusing him for robbing, like going into someone's house and robbing them, whatever. And they got in the truck.
I read that that there was like a series of break-ins in the neighborhood, like leading up to this.
Right.
So they're kind of like, did you read that?
Right. Do I believe it?
No. Did you? Read
Yeah. They were breaking.
Leading up to it, so like they were like on high alert.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So they see the guy jogging, and they're like, that's the guy who was breaking into people's houses. Now, when you're jogging, you're in like jogging clothes. If you're going to break into somebody's house, you're not going to be in jogging clothes. And most likely you would have something in your hands that you stole from these people's houses. So clearly he didn't have that. They put it on live. They put it on camera, so they filmed the whole thing. And you literally seen the whole thing taking place. The guys came out the truck. They, pretty much shot him for no reason. Now, it was so heartbreaking to see. It was one of those things that was like, we still doing this in 2020, right? So while y'all supposed to be in quarantine, you want to sit up here and just shoot somebody just because. Now, the reason why I even bring it up is because, for one, it took forever for them to even convict the people. So it makes one question.
It took a few months. I think my mom was telling me. Was it
almost like 2 months, going on 3 months?
And once the video got released, then they.
Hello. So the thing is that my thing is that why did it take so long for them to like convict someone or whatever? And my thing is that they gotta know somebody. Turns out this guy was an ex-cop, right? He was an ex-cop. I found out that he actually knew either the mayor or something like that. They were good friends. They were like photos of them, shaking hands or whatever like that. So that's one of the reasons why, it took so long for him to get convicted. But after all this, the media, now that we have media, social media and stuff like that, is good because it brings awareness to what's going on, and they actually did get convicted, and they are getting charged with murder. So thank God for that.
My whole thing with that is like, I don't automatically, even though it probably was racially motivated, I don't automatically think that when once a white person does something bad to a black person, it's like automatically racism. And that's the thing. I think we're always like quick to like jump to get that bait. So like as soon as it's like a white person doing something, anything negative to a black person, the first thing that we jump and say is like racism. But for me, it's like people do bad things to people between races, among races, all day, every day. And so
I agree with what you're saying. Not everything I think is racist, but if you look at the video and say hypothetically playing devil's advocate, these people are not racist, right? And they're like, I actually think this guy is the one who's been robbing people's houses. Is stealing stuff from someone's house cause for death?
No, it's murder.
For murder?
Especially because he was running away from them. and he wasn't on their property. So in that degree, it's murder.
So it's murder. So do you think that's racist?
People murder people all the time.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think it's that's the thing. I don't necessarily think just because a white person murdered a black person, it had to be racially motivated.
I don't think I'm saying it's racially motivated. I don't think I'm saying anything about race.
Well, Black Lives Matter came out in full force, so it became about race. It became about
so
race.
You're pretty much saying that because in this particular situation, the two people happen to be Caucasian. So we say two people came out. Actually, I think it was three because one was a camera guy. So we got three people that thinks that this guy was stealing was robbing people's house, robbing stuff from people's houses, right? So, all right. So they robbing stuff from people's houses and say they're not racist, right? They go in a car and they go and they shoot them. Now,
someone wants to join it live.
Say for example, like, how do they join? Like, anyways, but say for example, you don't think is racially motivated. Say if it was a white guy who they thought was breaking into people's houses. Do you think?
What up, nigga?
So what happened if that the person was white? Do you think he would have died, or do you think they would have called the cops?
I think they thought it was a black person stealing, and they made a rash judgment, and they're paying the price for it. But yeah, honestly,
right.
You were there, bro. Honestly, my bigger problem with like the black community and the whole Black Lives Matter movement, it's not even about this particular issue. It's about like the only time like a black life seems to matter is when a white person takes a black life. Like 99.59% of the fucking time, it's a black person taking a black person's life. We don't hear about it. There's no protest in the streets for it. There's no parade. There's nothing. But the one fucking second a white person takes a black person's life, the world is ending, racism everywhere. Like, let's fucking protest everywhere in every fucking street. That's my whole thing. It's like, the black community seems to only care about black deaths whenever it's done by a white person. You know, there could be 99 out of 100 deaths black on black. No one hears about it. The one thing is a white person, a black person, is everywhere. So that's my thing. I just think like the black community as a whole needs to do better. I think a black life taken by another black life also matters. You know, so that's really my thing with it, you know. So.
Does that downplay what happened? Because I 100% agree with you. I agree.
Listen, people kill people by mistaken identity all the time. Like, all the time. It happens every day, all day. Right? So, like, I don't automatically think that because it was between the races makes it racism.
Okay, what I am saying, for example, that they were not racism. They were not racist, right?
They're wrong. They should be going to.
Because my thing is like, if black on black crime happens all the time, right? But doesn't the black person who does the black crime get convicted, right?
Yes.
So,
but I mean,
does that take away? So, like, say for example, black on black happens all the time. So they get convicted, but these people, I think the issue is that these people did not get convicted for 2-3 months. So they took someone's life and there was no repercussion. Why have law if you're not going to implement it when the person's doing wrong? I don't even think it matters about, okay, some black person killed some black person. So, bring out, Black Lives Matter. It's about when black on black crime happens, someone's getting convicted, someone's going to jail, right?
I don't think that's accurate. I think I'm sure there are a bunch of black on black murders that have gone unsolved. Probably people in the community know who did it, haven't reported. Probably people in the police department know who did it, haven't gone through and arrested the person. I think that happens all the time. But the thing that we have to be careful of is like, if there's a black on black crime, right, on camera, that doesn't make the news. That doesn't go viral, right? If there's a white on white crime or murder, that doesn't go viral. If there's a black on white crime that doesn't make the news, it doesn't go viral. As soon as there's a white on black crime, it's everywhere. So like the only thing you ever see is white on black crime, because that's the only one of the whole genre of things, of possibilities between races. That's the only one that goes viral every time. A white person could slap the fuck out of a Chinese person, call him a chink.
Which
Chances are shit's not really blowing up like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But if he does it to a black person and says nigger, it's literally everywhere.
So do you think that the media is putting that out there for like a reason?
I don't think it's I think the media responds to what people respond to also. So it's like they get, on the whole social thing, like they see something bubbling, people are talking about it, people are in the streets, the media reports it. And then it gets even bigger because the media is reporting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I mean, the thing about it is, I agree when you say black on black crime, nobody talks about it. Black on white crime, nobody talks about it. White on another race crime, nobody talks about it.
It's only
but white on black crime, people talk about it.
Exactly. A black person can walk to a white person, slap the fuck out of him, and be like, "You fucking cracker ass fucker." That's not going viral.
But my thing is that I don't think it's the crime that happened that will make it viral. What make it viral is that you have these Caucasian people who kill a black person that did not get convicted.
That's the fucked up part.
Right. So
and the good thing in that is like the protests, I'm sure, did play a part in like bringing, what's the word?
Yeah,
like
bringing
attention to the situation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that caused, I'm sure, some effect on the people getting arrested. So that's good. They should have been arrested long before. It's fucked up they didn't get arrested before.
Right.
I don't know why they didn't get arrested before, but yeah.
It says, so what? I can't read sideways. Oh Lord. I need my glasses.
Oh, the narrative has to continue to be driven for the youth to continue the bullshit trends. That it certainly does continue when it's in the media. I don't know if there's what's the word, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. Like I don't think it's what's the word?
What?
Like I don't think it's a conscious decision that they're doing it to perpetuate it. I think it's more of a that's what like the social class, like that's what people react to.
Okay, so he says it's media driven. Why do you feel like it's media driven? The fact that white people they kill a innocent black guy and did not get convicted. That was media driven, I think, solely to get them convicted, not to show, okay, there's another white on black crime. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think it was driven to get them convicted. I just think it was placed on the media because people were upset and rioting and protesting about it. Then they put it on the news like people are protesting about this person's death. I don't think it was like we're gonna put it on the media so that it, you know what I mean? I don't think it.
Hey, Daily.
What's up, Daily?
How's the baby? So it's kind of
like the media's job to comment on what's going on. And what happened first? Did Black Lives Matter go out into the streets first and protest? And then the media picked it up and was like, look at them protesting? Or was the media there like, hey, everyone come protest?
No, I think that when it happened, especially the mother, she went out to bring attention to it because they weren't getting convicted. No one was getting convicted for it. Mm-hmm. And do I feel like it shouldn't have been publicized? I feel like it should have been publicized because
it should have been.
Yeah, it should have been publicized, and I don't feel like oh, it's a gimmick or propaganda thing, because this is something that really happened and justice should have been served, right? So I think that, yeah, I do like the fact that it was showcased. Now, if they already got convicted and they were already was sentenced for murder, that's one thing. I would say, okay,
The
next
protest,
topic.
like
But
I can say this, the protest in this situation, like I'm behind, it's valid. Everything was, you know, what happened should have happened in terms of like them getting arrested, convicted for murder.
mhm,
All that should have happened. But like but this is just this one particular situation. I'm talking about like for me on like a deeper level.
mhm.
Like I just think like as African Americans as a group, like we need to do like better.
You
You
need to do
know,
better with
we
black
need
on
to
black crime
we
and
need to
showing
do
attention to that.
exactly. We need to stop acting like the only crime
That
on a black
matters,
person is
right?
like a white person doing it on a black person. Like that's the only one that ever gets any attention. Like what happened to all the 99 other percent of fucking niggas killing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially in
So
Chicago, murder capital of the
like why don't you
world.
get upset at that? Like why
Right.
aren't we protesting that? Why is it you wait every 6 months so that one off chance that you get
And
something
then
on
blow it
camera
up.
and then blow it up?
And
Like, what
yeah,
about
no,
that's
I
my
agree with
thing.
that.
That's my thing.
I mean, I agree with that for sure. Like it shouldn't just be that as a narrative. It should be like,
That's exactly.
go to Chicago.
And I also don't think that we should be okay in the perfect world, right? We can say that. I know we don't live in the perfect world, but say in the perfect world, right? We can say that race wouldn't like we wouldn't even though it's hard to say that you don't see race, but race wouldn't play an issue in how you respond to someone in the perfect world, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it, I'm like, I know a lot of white people who aren't racist. I don't think every time, that's the thing, the fastest, it's so easy to like, say you're black, you're driving, a black person cuts you off in the traffic and fucking looks at you like this, right? You're gonna be like, yeah, fuck this person, but you're not gonna think, oh, he's racist. But the second a white person cuts you off in traffic, looks at you, that thing in the back of your mind kind of comes up, like,
It comes up. Why?
you know what I mean?
Why does it come up?
It comes up because, well, that's just social conditioning.
Do you think so? So
Oh,
you've never
100%,
been. So you've
100%.
never been.
No,
You've
100.
never been racially profiled in your life.
Of course, and I've racially profiled people.
Right.
You can't get around. I mean, that's just innately what you do.
Right.
But you don't categorize someone based on their, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's only so much you know about someone just because of their skin color, but you're gonna see this person's black, this person's Asian, this person's white. Like there's nothing you can do about that. But in terms of like, yeah.
No, I feel you. So, all right. With that being said, how do you feel about them uplifting COVID? Like,
ooh, topic switch. Took a hard right.
yeah, because you know why? Because I just feel like that topic is so touchy. Because I agree with both parts. I agree with all white people are not racist. I agree
At
with
all.
Yeah, I agree with that because that's true. You can't really categorize every race. Just like
Whoa, I was talking about my social conditioning thing. I grew up in Jamaica, right?
mm,
I moved from Jamaica when I was 17 years old,
mm,
right? I always traveled, like growing up, I frequently traveled to the US, all that stuff, right?
right.
I never once felt black.
Mm,
I never, like growing up in Jamaica, like I knew of slavery because I read it in a textbook.
mm,
My parents thankfully weren't the type to like talking about the white person or talking about, you know what I mean? It was just people.
right.
It's a fortunate, I know we traveled back and forth, so, and I never felt black ever.
Mm,
When I moved from Jamaica to the US at 17, like that's when I started to like understand a little bit like what's going on. Because then, I started to like, because I'm coming from outside of it, not having it in my home, and then moving here,
mm,
I started to see how like the different races reacted and responded to each other.
mm,
And then I started to understand it. And then I started to, in where I'm coming from, where not thinking of myself as being black or not feeling any way about if a white person cut me off that, oh, he's probably racist.
mm,
After years of being here and be recycled the information that a lot of African Americans, they're just born hearing.
Mm.
Their households are born preaching it to them about white and racism. I started to understand the mindset of like why it's so hard for people to like in African American community or even white community to like to not judge based on race, because I started thinking myself, like I started to feel black. Like if someone cuts me off and they're white and they look at me, I never thought before racism, but after being here for a few years, it come. You know what I mean? I think it's probably, but which I don't like in myself. I don't like having to like
to think
that way. But I know I'm only thinking that way because I'm here and I've just been hearing it so fucking much. So my brain, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like.
So you hear it so much, it's like kind of like people are. So you're like it. So this is the norm. Like people in America, white people
it's
are
social.
racist,
Exactly. You're socially conditioned. They're gonna look at me like I'm not shit. They're not gonna think much of me. Like so, you grow up hearing this, so it becomes what you like. It becomes your reality. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it becomes your reality.
I can see that.
You know.
I can see that. I mean, do I think I'm socially conditioned? Kinda.
We all are. As long as you're alive, you're socially conditioned to some.
To some degree.
Some degree.
You know what I think? Traveling. I think you hit a good point. Traveling kind of make you see the world a little bit different because you see the different cultures, you see what they go through, and like you said, when you get out of the box of America, you kind of see that you are socially conditioned, whether you like it or not. You are.
Yeah.
So, all right. So COVID. So COVID is going. We're going to lift COVID up.
COVID's going crazy.
Next week. We're going to lift the lockdown next week. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Good idea.
I'm a lot more. I'm a lot more nuanced on my answer when it comes to Okay, when they were first talking about doing it in like the beginning of May, what day is it? Like May 17th. Okay,
17th.
When they were talking about doing it in the beginning of May, I was like, bro, there's no fucking way, right? They sent out the stimulus checks. First of all, the second round is many people haven't received their first fucking stimulus check yet. Right? Now this is like what 2.5 months later, a few months later. Okay, if you're expecting someone to not survive off anything for much less 1,200, nothing for 2-3 months, right?
Not in Miami.
What do you mean?
Not in Broward or not in the Tri-Counties in South Florida. $1,200.
Oh, that's not shit.
That can get you some toilet paper. That's about it. Sure.
And what was I saying? What was I saying?
Yeah, the living, like they're giving you the stimulus check. Not everybody have the stimulus check.
Yeah.
And then they talk about lifting the lockdown.
I'm not even. This is the whole rabbit hole. This is what I think is gonna happen. We're gonna open up. We're gonna get fucked. I don't know if we're gonna because it's just fucking math. It's like right now. Okay, I looked at those numbers before. Like yesterday or today, we have the same amount of cases as we had at the on March 31st or so, like at the beginning of shit. You feel me?
Right.
February, March, March 30th, something like that. Literally the same amount, and that's under the the lockdown that we've had, right? So it just makes sense that once fucking shit opens up with more people out, that number, because if the number is this with the lockdown,
right?
Without the lockdown, it's just.
But it is the summertime and the sun kills the virus.
That's what they say. That's what they thought.
It's the heat kills the virus.
That's what they're saying to people in fucking New York. But it's in Florida, it's been sunny.
Yeah.
You feel me? The shit's been sunny and shit's been popping.
Yeah.
But they're saying like places like New York, it's just wait till the summer. But okay, but look at Florida.
Right. So and cases are still going.
Yeah, it's still popping.
So do you think you think it's a bad idea because you feel like people are going to go out and get sick and then we're going to go right back in? Do you think?
I don't think it's a bad idea because I think you can't keep. I think if you're gonna have people locked up for as long as the right, like, if you're gonna have people locked up as long as the medical experts advise us to stay locked up, you have to provide people with money, right? The $1,000 every 3 months, like, that's not gonna cut it, right? So if you're gonna ask me, do I think we should stay locked up? It's like, yes, but no. If what you're giving people is $1,000 every 3 months,
Right.
you know, because
how are they gonna make money?
How you gonna live? Like your mental health is like also, and we talk about it like our fucking like our biological health, but like your mental health in being in that situation, being stressed out about paying your you know, food for your kids, all like that also plays a toll on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and then you're not working. You're literally in the house all day. You can't go to restaurants. All these places are locked down. You can't go to work. There's no escape. So if you're with your spouse and you realize you didn't know who your spouse was, and then you finally realize this spouse ain't really what I wanted.
I guess a lot of people are going through that, right?
A lot of people going through that because guess what? You get with your spouse, right? And say your spouse was cute and all this kind of stuff, and they were like, but they never got a chance to know who that person is, like the deeper part of that person. So I feel like the COVID is definitely making people get to know their spouse. Now, they're either going to fall madly in love with each other, or they're going to be like, I need to get the fuck out of this relationship. So that's what people are doing now, finding out who they're with. They're finding out. I've heard cases where people are finding out they're bad parents because they'll cuss out their teacher like, my kid ain't bad. So now they got their kids at the house and their kids is bad. And they're like, damn, my teacher was right the whole time. My kids is bad as shit. Like, my kids is horrible. Take these kids back to the store. Like, return to sender. Like, can I give the teacher a gift? But the teacher like, I've been telling yo crazy, but coming in my classroom, cussing me out, talking about your kid not bad. Your kid is bad as shit. And I have to deal with this for like the whole year.
That is too funny. That is funny.
So people finding out they're bad parents. Spouses are either falling in love or breaking up. It ain't no in between. It's either or. You understand? And then you're either losing weight or getting mad fat. Or you're getting super depressed or you're finding yourself. Ain't no middle ground in COVID. So I think, what have COVID done for you?
Yeah, actually, my homegirl, not really my homegirl, I just know her. She started a fucking, she's had her and her mom has had this, like, I think I told you, did I tell you? The dance thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the dancing. So that's good for her. Like, she started a dance channel. Before she had like maybe like 10, 15,000 people over 2 years. And then as soon as COVID started, her and her mom started like doing a bunch of dance, like African dance workout videos. Mm-hmm. I wish I could remember it. I'll shut it out right here. But yeah, so in like 2 weeks, they gained like 50,000 subscribers and like 900,000 views on like each video.
That's amazing.
So that's cool.
And they start getting those numbers since COVID.
Yeah, literally.
Off YouTube.
Amazing. Their
Amazing.
channel blew up by like 50,000 subscribers.
That's crazy. In like a month or two.
Like 2 weeks. Like literally.
I'm telling you. That's amazing. Yeah. Now that's amazing. All right. So COVID is, so I think personally, lifting the lockdown right now may not be a good idea. As much as I want to go to the beach, I love the beach, I love the sand. But as much as I love it, I'm not sure if that's a good idea right now. I feel like people are going to get sick. But on contrary, people are going crazy. Like, people are going crazy. People are losing their jobs. And it's a very depressing time. So on one hand, where I feel like people are going to get sick if they do release the lockdown. On the other hand, I feel like you need to, because people are getting tired of just sitting home doing nothing.
That's the thing. Nothing has gotten better. Nothing has changed. Right. Like, fundamentally with the virus.
Right.
So it's kind of just, we're in a situation where it's just like, yo, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what's literally,
I bet like literally the numbers go down. Like, the numbers going to go down.
What do you mean?
Like, for example,
Corona numbers?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know, but
how?
Like, because my thing is like, it may go up, right? But what if it go down? Because it's summer.
Bro, it's just not going down. It's just popping in Florida.
Okay, first of all, do you even think the numbers are accurate? I think it's bullshit. You know
I
know
think.
why?
Let me tell you what I think is accurate. I think the death toll. I think the death toll right now is really close to 90,000. Like I said, it's probably like tomorrow it might be 90,000, and I think that number. Okay, so you have the number of estimated cases. I don't know the exact number. So say 1.3 million, something like that, right? Is it million or 100,000? No, million. 1.3 million cases so far. And then you have like 90,000 deaths. I think the 90,000 deaths is a real close estimate. Say give or take 20,000 people. Say it's not 90. Say it's 120, right? 30,000 people, right? Say it's something like that, right? Let's see. Okay. So you have but I think the estimated total, if you go on like the website, it says 1,000, like 1 million, like some shit, right?
Right.
I think that number, instead of being 1 million, is probably really like 10, 15 million.
So
right?
you
I think
that,
because that's just the number of
what?
people who got tested. Right? The number that they report of the 1 million something cases confirmed are just the confirmed tests that came back positive. There are definitely way more people who didn't get tested
who had
it because if you hear something like 50% of people are asymptomatic, then why the fuck would they go get tested?
But the same symptoms for cold, so how you even know if it's COVID or just a regular flu?
That's the thing. Unless you're fucking about to die, you're not gonna go to the hospital pretty much.
Right.
You know? Or unless you have like a fever or something.
So okay, so you're saying, so say if it's 10 million that really people really got, right? And say it's 100,000 that passed away. That means that's a 1% virus. Now you had Ebola at higher than 1%. Right?
Ebola was high at 1%, but the thing with Ebola is like once you got Ebola, like nigga, you knew you had Ebola. You know what I mean? Like there's like going 2 weeks, maybe. Nah, like once you have Ebola, nigga, nah, you're like, bro, I'm about to die. You know, like that's it. Within like 1 to 2 days, you're like, you can't go anywhere. So the chance of it spreading is way less because when you're sick, you're just sick. You catch it. You just stay home and you're sick, so you don't spread it.
Right.
So that's the thing with Ebola, is that the most dangerous viruses they say aren't the ones that like kill you right away.
Yeah.
It's the ones that like take time to fuck you up, and then in the meantime, it's being spread everywhere.
Right.
You know, so those are like the slow movers are the dangerous ones, not the ones that like you can take that shit tomorrow you're dead. Yeah. Because that we can contain. Right. But the one that takes 2 weeks, some people are not symptomatic. Mm-hmm. Some people that's hard to fucking.
So contain. Do you think that was even? You think that was constructed that way? You think that was man-made? You think that was pre-planned?
That's what viruses have done. That's just what viruses have done.
So you don't think it was pre-planned? You don't think that someone made?
Do I think someone made Corona?
Yeah. Do you think it was man-made? Do you think it's a man-made virus?
I can just go off of like what the majority of people like have said. It seems to not be man-made. Like there are a bunch of other coronaviruses that we know for a fact aren't man-made. This one happened to jump from, they believe, an animal species in the Wuhan meat shop, whatever, and came to humans. Some believe it was made. It escaped from a lab in Wuhan. But based on what I've researched, it seems to be like, because I guess some viruses that are like synthetically produced, they're like telltale signs in like how the virus is. But like natural occurring viruses, there's like certain characteristics that like, I don't know. Do you think it was man-made?
I think that why did they get a patent on it?
On what?
On the virus.
On the treatment for the virus?
No, on the virus.
What part? Explain that.
So I found out that Bill Gates is part of this too. They went and got. Ain't no shout out to Bill Gates. Stay out of Africa. How about that? Okay. So I think that it was man-made for the simple fact that they have a patent. They created a patent for the actual virus. So all the viruses that are man-made, they create a patent for it. So once they treat this virus, they can get paid.
I don't know if you can patent viruses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look it up. They did it. They have a patent on the coronavirus, COVID-19. Look it up. They got a patent for it. That's why I was like, how you patent a virus? But of course, because it's money making. It's gonna be money making. Hello. Yeah. Look it up. I know. I totally know. Okay. So because of the virus, get this now. So a lady that was in Texas, she owns a hair salon, right? So, like you said, people can't live off of $1,200. That's just not enough. And her workers were complaining that we need to open up the shop. I need to start making money. You understand? So she opened up her shop. So cops went and said, you got to close down your shop. And the lady told the cops no. So they say, come back again, and was like, yo, you need to close down your shop because you can't really, you can't operate or whatever because, whatever. So anyways, she says no to the cop, right? And so the cop arrests her. So she gets in front of the judge.
Oh, that's what you're telling me about.
Right.
I didn't look that up. I don't know.
So she gets in front of the judge, and the judge says, okay, I'm not going to give you no time. I'm not going to give you anything. All you have to do is apologize and make sure you just keep your shop closed. So the lady told the judge no. like the lady's like, no, I'm not apologizing because we need to work and stuff like that. This happened in Texas. So the judge said, oh, so you don't want to apologize? Guess what? You're going to jail and you got to pay a fine. Right? Like I forgot what the amount was, but $2,000 fine.
That sounds fucked up.
So,
like I said, I have no idea.
So guess what? So after she goes to jail, not even 24 hours later, the damn mayor come on the news talking about, okay, all hair salons and barbershops open. A day. All she had to do was be like, I apologize, judge. And the next day she would. Now, in hindsight, do you feel like if you was that lady who owns a barber or who owns a shop and all your workers are not working, would you do what that lady did and say, no, I'm gonna continue working? Or would you
I mean, I'm not gonna go to court and defy the judge's orders. I might have done it try to be sneaky, before going to court, maybe, but I wouldn't have gone to court trying to defy the judge, defying the judge's orders. But I guess I have no idea what this case is. Well, I don't know about this case.
Well, just saying, just for the simple fact that you have a business owner who opened up her shop, and she says, I'm going to open up shop with or without whatever y'all say.
Without the local government's permission.
Right.
Okay.
Do you agree with that or no?
No. So, I mean, how can I say, do I feel for her? Yes. But if it's a law, I can't say, you know what I mean? My barber did it. I told you. And I went there.
Don't say who your barber name is. We don't want him going to jail.
I won't. But my barber did it.
So do you agree with him?
I went and got a haircut.
Yeah. So you agree with him.
So I agree. So I was
you agree with her. You're like, I'm not gonna defy the law, but I'm gonna go and be open.
That's the thing though. Would I be on her about doing it before going to court, even though she knows she was breaking the law? No, you're making a decision. You have children to feed. Do what you have to do. But I'm not gonna be team her. After she goes to court, the judge tells her, if you continue doing this,
right.
Especially if it's something as simple as you said, if you just say I'm sorry.
If
it's something as simple as that.
All she had to say was I'm sorry. I'll be like, I'm sorry, Judge. My bad.
I don't want to speak on the situation too much because, like I said, I haven't done any sort of research on this topic. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like she fucked up a little bit. I don't know.
She spent a whole day in jail to prove a point, and then I could understand if they still didn't.
Yeah, I would know, but what's up, bro?
The next day, they don't. Okay, now y'all could go and get your haircut and get your beauty on. So I feel like that was a waste of time.
Said sorry.
She should have just said sorry, judge. First of all, she should have said sorry, judge, and then go and open it. But don't be like, no, judge. Yeah. I would have been like, sorry, judge. I'm gonna give you what you want. What you want? A sorry? What you want? I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, king. What you want? I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm gonna do what I want. And then I'm gonna still open up on the side.
Yeah, well.
Off record. I'm not gonna do that.
Shout out to that lady for trying to make things happen.
You know what? Because of her, he was like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. I don't want nobody going to jail, so everybody could get their hair cut now and be at risk of getting COVID. Thank you, lady. You just
caused shout out to my barber,
10 more people to get COVID.
Shout out to my barber, nigga. That nigga was open from 3 weeks ago.
We're not gonna say his name because we still need him to start still being business.
You see this? I need to go. So.
We see you ain't going like 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Shouts out to barbers and hair people.
And the nail people.
And I'm not going to no more Korean people. Let me tell you that much. So you ain't hear what's happening in Korea, in China?
What?
So they kicking out people. They kicking out the Nigerians and the people from Kenya for being black because they think that all black people in China brought in the virus.
I feel like that's not true.
Okay, that's gonna be the next topic. I'm gonna show you videos.
I feel like
I'm gonna show you videos of what's going on in China. No.
Okay, we'll have to sparse. Are they saying that people are migrating or like immigrants immigrating from one country that's known to have a lot of virus to Japan, or are they saying China. To China, or are they saying people who have already been here leave? Because that's a difference.
Yeah, these are actually college student, foreign exchange students.
That's been there.
Have house everything there.
Did they go back to their country and they were trying to come back?
No, because they already were on lockdown, so no one could move.
So why would they think that?
Right.
If it's
no, they don't think that. They're just being racist. So these Chinese people are saying, well, if you're black and you are from Africa, any parts of Africa, they literally went into their apartments, took their stuff and threw it on the floor, threw it out. So now these are all people homeless now because they don't want to feed them. They can't go to stores and buy food because the Chinese people are not serving them. So it was a big thing where the African government about time had to go and get the people out of China because they were being homeless. It was a big thing. Yeah, so I'm on strike from Chinese restaurants right now to prove a point because I am. No Chinese restaurants, no nail shop for me because what's going on in China,
meaning
I'm going to stand up for my peoples because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Like we already go through a lot here in the States. So now y'all doing it in China? Now I can't eat Chinese food in China because I'm black or I'm African?
I'm still eating Chinese food.
Yeah, go ahead and eat that dog and that bat if you want to. It's because the Chinese people eating bat. That's what caused the corona, a bat. Just stick to regular chicken. Shit. Just stick to regular chicken. But they want to eat a bat and that's how we get corona. Golly, I can't stand the Chinese. They're eating bat, dogs, frogs,
and then be surprised when you're sick.
And get surprised when people get sick. Who eats a bat? First of all, bats are known to, roll with vampires that are known to, suck blood and all that kind of stuff. You know how that goes. I'm not going to be eating anything associated with, like evil stuff or whatever. I'm just not doing it. Like, period. So we're going to go to... the bill. I'm just the bill.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a bill that I found online. This is a conspiracy theory. So it was a bill online that they were saying that was passed. The coronavirus bill was passed in January of 2019. That got funded or whatever. So they funded this bill in 2019 for the coronavirus. So I feel like y'all know about the corona 2000 January 2019.
Okay, and then I was telling her that the bill was the CARES Act as we know it started off being another, I don't remember the name of it, started off being another type of bill that they first brought to the floor of the House in January 2019, right? Mm-hmm. So that bill was first called something else, right? Mm-hmm. After a few months, it was being pushed through, blah, blah, blah. Once Corona came about, they took some things out that bill, added some things to the bill, pretty much created a whole new bill, and now they call that new bill CARES Act. But it wasn't called, so when you go and look at the bill, it seems as if like the CARES Act bill was made from January 2019. So people are like, oh, they already knew about coronavirus. But it was actually called something else. Once coronavirus came, they changed the name to CARE Act after they added a bunch of shit, took out a bunch of shit, and then that's how the whole controversy started.
So when 2020 hit, then that's when they changed the bill.
That's when they added some things, took out some things, and ended up changing the name.
So, okay, remember when Obama went online and was like, oh, there's going to be another virus pandemic, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like they knew about this corona before, or do you think that he just happened to spill the beans and like,
before Obama?
Oh, remember Obama 5 years ago and was like, in 5 years, we're going to have a virus that's going to change up everything and we need to be prepared.
How he knew is because he saw what happened with Ebola, and he knew that like we weren't prepared for a pandemic.
But he said Ebola, in 5 years to the date.
Maybe he was just like, no, because Bill Gates had a TED Talk, I think it was 2017, where he was talking about how unprepared we are for like a real pandemic.
Right.
Like, so he was just, because pandemics are inevitable. It's gonna happen. Whether it's just gonna fucking happen. Given enough time, there's gonna be some new virus that comes and fucks us up, right?
Right.
So he was just pretty much saying, because he saw a response to, before Ebola, there was like a long time before like any really thing was like bothering us. So when Ebola came, it was highlighted how poorly prepared we were, right, for something. So then that's when he did the whole pandemic committee thing to like make sure at least in the future we have something established, at least fundamentally, so that in case something does happen like now, we're not starting from ground zero.
Do you think that he was prepared, the president, for this pandemic, or do you think that he shot himself in the foot by firing the team that was supposed to get us prepared for things like this?
But he's more concerned that he doesn't want to cause any alarm to like the economy, which would negatively affect the stock market, which he believes will negatively affect his re-election campaign. So with him, it's all about preserving the stock market. So if there's some news that's gonna come out that's gonna like impact the stock market, he's gonna like try to downplay it as much as possible, right? If there's some news that may help the stock market, he's gonna try to like, make it bigger than it is. So
do you think that he cares more about the money over the people?
He cares about getting reelected at all costs.
So do you think he cares more about the money than the people?
If the money's going to help him get reelected, yeah. If the stock market being high is going to help him get reelected, then yeah.
Do you think that's a good president to serve?
No.
The ones who cares about the money
over
the people?
Fuck no. That's not even a question.
I think that I agree with certain things that he says, and the people may look at me like, what?
I mean,
But
he said many words, like many
okay,
sentences.
now
Like
okay,
I'm sure I agree with some of them too.
certain logics, like for example, like
I don't think making a wall is a big deal. A border. I don't think making. I think every country has the right to defend its own borders. I think if any country wants to put up a fucking wall, they can. They have the full right. The government has to put up a fucking wall. Like
well,
so
I
that
forgot
the
about the
whole
wall.
thing with that was the whole him like making it like racially
Yeah,
like tying it
putting
to
them
race
down,
time
right?
thing. But in terms of like just building a wall, I actually think it may be a good idea to protect the borders a little bit more from illegal immigrants crossing. It's, I mean, you know,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about as far as now, what happened to the trillion or gabillion dollars that he done put back into the economy? Where that money at?
in the stock market.
And it's back in the stock
Literally,
market.
literally.
Like I feel like where's all that money? The trillion of a billion dollars.
Well, a lot of it went to help small businesses. Did you get your stimulus check?
No.
I haven't gotten mine either. Coming in
So I'm
hopefully soon.
starving. I can't even buy.
We're dying here.
I can't even buy toilet paper.
I have.
I have to use. I'm gonna steal his.
You can get one.
That's my Christmas present. Like Chris, and there's still no toilet paper on the shelves.
Is there really not?
And not in Miami.
Shit.
Damn.
So yeah.
So my $1,200 still didn't come yet.
Mine hasn't
So
come either.
all this kabillion, like a drilling of $1 billion that he's saying he's putting back into the economy, it's going to larger businesses. It's going to bailing out these airplane companies that are billionaires. It's going to bail out these
It's also
cruise line companies that are billionaires, and the people are not seeing the money.
well, the people have seen the money. The stimulus checks. I mean, it's just a matter of time. It takes a while to get it. Granted, $1,000 every 3 months doesn't cut it. Like I said, like it needs to be on a monthly
That
basis.
thing is like hush money. That's like, all right, let me give you $1,000, so go away while I give the airline and the cruise line
But at the
$1 billion.
same time, that stimulus check is right now the unemployment is at close to 15%, right? That stimulus thing gave small businesses, which small businesses employ most people, right? Gave small businesses the leeway to keep paying people because they have this fund to draw back from that they can then not pay back.
Now, if you said that and there weren't 30 million people who filed for unemployment, that's one thing. But, it have a time limit, 1 hour.
Oh.
Or you got to start it again.
Yeah, but this one's great.
Okay. So if you have, say for example, you understand, like, you have, people who, what was I saying with the stimulus check?
Do I think it's enough?
Yeah, like if you have people, if for example, if you didn't have 30 million people who filed for unemployment, that would be one thing. But you got 30 million people filed for unemployment. That is larger number than the Great Depression to date. And the Great Depression was the worst pandemic that ever happened in U.S. history. Now we are seeing that now over 30 million people and 2.5 million people filed last week. So we are at 32.5 million people with no jobs. So where is that money going? Because you can't say it's going to small businesses because they still running out of business.
Yeah, but they're at least keeping people on staff. All right, that's what we need to. We got to give credit where credit is due, right? A lot of people are home right now, not working, still getting a paycheck.
From what, unemployment?
No, from the company that they hired on. The reason why they can still get a paycheck is because the reason why they can still get a paycheck. The reason why they can still get a paycheck is because of the government, like pretty much grant to small business. They call it a loan, but if you keep your payroll at what it is, like the amount of employees that you have, then you don't have to pay back the money. So, that's been helping a lot of people who are still getting paid from their company. So I mean, that was a good thing because had companies not had that free cash flow to draw on from the stimulus that was passed, they would have been forced to let go even more people. It's 15% right now. It would have easily been at least 25 at this point had that not been passed. So I mean,
So AMC movie theater it has filed bankruptcy. They are out of
so did
business.
Hertz. So is Hertz.
Hertz is out of business right now.
Not out of business, but they filed bankruptcy.
File bankruptcy.
Yeah.
File bankruptcy. They're pulling a Trump move. I'm gonna file bankruptcy, keep all my assets, and keep and not have to pay all my creditors and still stay in business. Thank you, Trump, for the great.
Well, the thing is, the owners aren't the same owners now, though. They have to forfeit their ownership.
Oh.
So it's not the people who, it's not the.
So it's different.
Same,
different people who
get shit.
Oh, got it. So I feel like, in a way, Trump is, you have to put the money back into the economy to stimulate the economy. Do you think that it has taken a hit in the stock market big? Or do you think that the stock market, he has been trying his hardest to keep the stock market afloat? He's
gonna do everything that he possibly can.
How do you think that re-election is gonna go?
I think he's gonna win.
Why?
No competition.
You know why? Because he's gonna lock everybody up and say, "Okay, October time come, everybody free now. Get your free on." And then
let me tell you what the big difference.
You go back
a huge difference I've seen in the support for Trump, which is like on a ground base like support, right? When 2020? When it was 2016, 2016, you go on social media. I'll go on like the hip hop pages, blah blah blah. It's a majority of like younger people, a lot of urban people, a lot of types thing. Let's say the word. And what I find then is people were actively like against him, right? Against Trump. What I find now is that you see a lot more support from like the African American community for Trump, which worries me because I'm like, if he just needs to get a certain segment of the African American vote away from to just for it to just be a rap, and that's what I see. I see that happening online now. We don't know if the same people commenting on fucking World Star Hip Hop page is the same people who are going to vote, but there is a sentiment shift in terms of how black people view him. They view him a lot more favorably now than they did 4 years ago. And in reality, I think it should be worse. So
if you don't have Trump in office, who is going to replace Trump?
It's going to be Joe Biden.
Joe Biden has dropped out the race.
No. It's Joe Biden.
Not Joe Biden. I'm thinking
Bernie.
About Bernie.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. See, Bernie would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, we'll see. I hope for the best. I really do.
So you got Bernie, Joe Biden, and Trump.
Exactly.
Who would
and
you
Joe
choose?
Biden can barely choose Joe Biden because Trump is like, he's not a good person. Like, he's not a good person, like, at all. Right? So, like, the first thing that you need to fucking be to be president is a good person. Like, that's like, if you're not that, you know, it's like, I obviously, some people, but like, when he's clearly this, like, maniacal of a person, it's like, there's no way. And on top of that, there's nothing that he's doing that's, like, really, like, helpful. He's tearing everything apart. He's dividing everything. At every chance that he gets to, like, be a fucking ass, he's gonna be a fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just not what, like, we need, like, it's just not what we need.
Have you heard about it brought me to the people who are in politics that have secrets, right?
That's humans.
So
as humans have secrets.
Humans.
That's
skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, that's humans.
So it brought me to the how you say it?
I'm not a video person. You have to say it.
Is it the governor? Yeah, he was running for governor of Florida.
Uh-huh.
And his name was Who was running, that black guy who was running for governor? Um, Andrew, was it Andrew?
Andrew Gillum.
Gillum. All right, so he's running for governor, and
I saved it.
you saved it. Okay, he was running for governor, and he didn't win because there were conspiracy theory or whatever. So anyways, he gets caught.
I kind of felt bad for him not winning. I thought he was gonna win.
I thought he was gonna win
put it
too. Yeah, because of the conspiracy, they were saying that he was he had money or whatever. So anyways, he gets caught in the hotel with two other.
Oh yeah, my nigga.
No. There were two guys.
He was doing like meth or acid or something.
Yes.
What was he doing?
He was doing meth.
Okay.
He was doing meth.
And I said
and he
because
was drunk.
And I said because he was doing meth, he has my vote.
Okay, he was okay, but does he still have your vote that when they had asked the two guys that he was with that they were escorts?
That he's gay.
No, I said the two guys he was with, they were escorts. And
so he's gay. I haven't heard this.
All I'm saying is that he was in the room.
Breaking news: Andrew Gillum is gay.
I didn't say it. I'm just saying what I heard was that he was in the room. He was drunk. They weren't saying that he was doing meth, but he was drunk. They were doing meth, and everybody just didn't have all their clothes on. And
were there any females in the room?
No.
Okay.
And two of them happened to be escorts.
We're talking about Andrew Gillum, the Florida governor guy.
With 3 kids and a mom. So now, get this. After the news broke, the wife leaves him.
Really?
The wife files
that's
separation.
Funny. You know it's funny? I heard about the whole thing with him getting arrested. Was he arrested?
No, he didn't get arrested. But
they found him okay.
Yeah.
I heard about the whole thing with that, but I never followed up on it.
Yeah. So the wife files for separation.
That's funny.
So do you think...
Yeah, shout out to Andrew, bro.
So question, do you think the wife knew that he was a little fruity patootie?
The wife always knows.
Tutti fruity?
The wife always knows.
Or do you think the wife suspected but wasn't sure?
The wife always knows.
So the wife knew before?
The wife
knew before before they got married?
The wife always knows.
I don't know how y'all think.
I don't know how y'all always...
know if the wife knew. The wife probably suspected.
I don't know how y'all always figured this shit out so quick, but...
The wife knows.
Yeah.
The wife probably suspected. The wife don't want to know. That's what it is. The wife don't want to know.
Probably know, bro.
Gillum, you better keep writing them checks.
Yo, you got my vote, dog.
So you go,
I don't care.
What lies in the dark spills out the closet, because the closet will get.
I told you, I don't give a fuck if he's gay. Like I really don't. So like, I know. I liked him more knowing that like he was doing meth. I don't do meth.
Because you feel like he's a real person. No, I don't think he was doing meth. I don't think he was doing
He was doing some shit that was like, it wasn't, no.
He was drunk. You think he was doing meth?
No. I heard him doing it was a substance he was doing, but it wasn't like a regular, like a mushrooms or weed.
They say he was drunk.
It was like something like.
He was doing meth.
If it's not meth, it's one of those type of fucking
them type of
out
drugs.
there type of shit.
Yeah, that most of us don't do. Okay,
just smoke.
We don't do no meth, bro. What is you doing?
Just smoke weed and do shrooms.
We just smoke weed
and do shrooms,
and some of us do shrooms. Hey. Okay, we don't smoke no meth, bro. What is you thinking? See, now that you start doing drugs we ain't supposed to be doing, that's why your skeletons. You should have just stuck to weed. Hello.
My dog was
because you know why? What happened was the only reason why he got caught messing with them drugs that he not used to messing with, and then he got out of control and he passed out. And
they had to alert authorities to him.
They had to alert authorities because he was not
But honestly,
he
this
wasn't
nigga,
conscious.
This guy, he's so like buttoned up.
Yeah,
and like
happy,
put together,
and I'm better than you.
So it's like, so when I see that happen, I'm like, okay,
that explains it.
I was like, I see you, boy. I see you.
That's a cover up
I see you,
for
boy.
a druggie.
I see you.
That's a cover for a druggie. I'm better than you. And you go and you do meth, dude. Ew. I don't do no meth. I must teach you everything. You should have just stuck to weed.
So I think we did pretty good. We went over in 5 minutes of footage. I think we talked about everything flowed, right?
I think we did good.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good. Everything
we broke
flowed.
our first time.
I know. Everything was good.
I like.
We have to we're gonna get better. We'll have to get better at sharing to different pages and blah blah blah. But we definitely took a step in the right direction today, I
think so too.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Una hora. It's time to ciao.
Bye.